I know what you're thinking. And yes, this is literally the coolest car in the world. And we just bought it. By we, I do mostly mean he just bought it. And now we have to drive it home, halfway across New Zealand. Let's go for a drive. Where do we go? So before we get started, I'd like you to meet Sam.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, Sam. Sam is a very good friend of mine who also happens to be a business owner, which is related. We'll talk about that in a minute. But Sam and I have known each other for 10 years.
It's a 10-year anniversary.
Sam, do tell me, why are we 300 miles from home driving a 32-year-old Toyota from Christchurch to Wellington?
Good question. Good question. Well, I just thought it would be really fun to buy a little car that I could take clients out in, clients' kids out in, and enjoy cars with. My firm's called Harness Financial. We do financial advice, but you know, I feel like we don't have enough fun in life in general. And I said to Rob, what would you suggest we buy to have a bit of fun in? And something a little bit different, something a little bit weird, something kids might find interesting. And then you found this one.
Yes. So when we first started, we were thinking something that might maybe a bit quick, might be something we could use for autocross, for the odd track day. And I think we still can. But we were thinking more Golf R's, Golf GDIs, something a little bit more serious, something with a little bit more grunt.
Yeah.
But I don't think we were ever going to win anything anyway. So when this came up, it's like, well, why don't we do it in style?
Why not something with wings?
Why not something with wings? So we've just picked up this Toyota Sera from Christchurch in the South Island of New Zealand. And we've got a boat to catch in about 6 hours. Being in New Zealand, we've got a big body of water in between our two main islands. So whenever we need to go between them, you're either flying, or in the case of us, where we have a car, we need to get the ferry.
So the ship we're sailing on, like what were you saying before?
This ship is actually the very ship that a few months ago beached itself in the Marlborough Sounds.
Beached as,
bro. So hopefully it goes a little bit smoother this time. So Sam, before I get into my driving impressions, what are your initial impressions from the passenger seat?
Well, it's very 1992 in a good way, but there's enough room in here. It's nice. A lot of glass.
There is a lot of glass. We do have these little things up here to shield ourselves from some of the sunlight, which
yes.
Oh, there it goes. I'll be honest, it's very welcome right now. I think we would be cooking in here without it.
Yes.
The air conditioning is on. I don't know how effective it is. I think it probably hasn't been regassed in some time.
It's a very hot day in Canterbury, New Zealand.
And this is a greenhouse.
It's like a Corolla with quirks.
Well, I think these are based on essentially the same platform as the Toyota Starlet, the Toyota Tercel, a few of their other smaller, cheaper cars of the same period. So they kind of took their cheapest car and gave it the most ridiculous doors I've ever seen on a factory car beyond a supercar. I don't know what the mentality was behind that, but good on them. I'm glad they did.
The mechanism works really well, though, I will say.
Yeah.
And the doors don't fold out too far. They fold up.
Yeah, it actually feels like it'd be quite convenient. Like, I feel like you don't need that much space around you to get full exit.
Exactly. So if you've got a small garage and you want to park your car and get a Sera.
Yeah, absolutely. Consumer advice. This is what you need.
It's our message to you today. And what about you, Rob? What are your impressions from the driver's seat?
Well, as I said, it's a Toyota. It is a 1992 Toyota. If you didn't have these doors, there'd be absolutely nothing noteworthy about this experience. And that's not bad in any way. It's a very serviceable, reasonably well put together car. I mean, it's just a Toyota Starlet, really. Same basic motor, gearbox, same. This one's a little bit smushy, I'd say, but it's not that bad. Steering is, I'd say for the time you'd call it vague, but given how disconnected a lot of modern steering feels, I think it's actually alright. It's not very weighted, but there's feel for sure.
Is the lift back door shape unique? Does it have?
Yeah.
It does look quite unique, doesn't it?
Yeah, because it's the glass section is the bit that comes up.
Yeah.
So I thought at first it might have been a split or something, that the bottom bit came up separately as well, but no, it's just the glass bit that comes up.
Yeah.
We were trying the key before, and we weren't actually sure if you're meant to be able to open up. There's a little bit in between the rear lights. Maybe, I'm not sure. I know very little about these cars.
Yeah.
There is a hidden compartment underneath that rear bit where the big speaker box is in the back, but it's a bit of a pain to get to.
Yeah.
Practical, this car is not. It's not terrible, but
That puts the cool in practical. No, that's
that's staying.
It's not practical, but it is cool.
After so much thorough consumer advice, I think it's time to test the performance.
Yeah. Still going.
It means business.
That's 100. Oh, it's fine. It's alright. I quite like this. As soon as we saw it, as soon as we pulled up and just saw that thing, and then watching you wash it and get it all clean and tidy and just seeing the doors come open.
Yeah.
I don't know, it looks special. It looks really special for how cheap it is.
It looks fun.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like people don't have enough fun with cars these days.
Absolutely. You can't help but smile when you see this. Like,
Yeah.
seeing those two doors open and a couple people getting out of it, and it's just, that's ridiculous. I love it.
I'm getting distracted by the doors again. Talk about the rest of the bloody car.
Well, start with the engine. This came with the 5E FHE 1.5 litre 4-cylinder, which is basically a slightly higher output version of what came in things like the Starlet and the Tercel and that sort of thing. As far as I know, it's 104 horsepower, so pretty special, pretty peppy. But it feels great. It feels pretty smooth. I think this one is not running quite right. I think there might be a slight ignition issue or a fueling issue. I think we just need to diagnose that, but it's not bad at all. In this car, it's even with these doors, it's not that heavy. It gets it moving. The gearbox, as I said before, is a little bit slushy, quite a long throw, but same as literally any Toyota of this era. This is the New Zealand road trip experience. Caravan in front of you. For any viewers not in New Zealand, you should know that there's not a lot of multi-lane highways going up and down the country. You get the odd overtaking lane strategically placed on a hill that this probably is going to struggle with. Otherwise, it's either sit behind the slow traffic or make some sort of life-threatening maneuver.
Yeah, in New Zealand, it's actually unsafe to have a non-peppy car.
V8's mandated by law.
Eventually, we got around the caravan, and later on, we decided to pull over for Sam's first proper drive in the Sera.
How's it feeling from the driver's seat?
Good.
It's got a really nice amount of power. Yeah, it actually feels nimble, like peppy. I'm reasonably impressed. Like it's a nice little car for sure. How do you feel about these seats?
Yeah, if they were any smaller, it would be a problem, but they're alright.
For a small economy car, they're actually reasonably huggy, like they're bolstered. But yeah, they're made for a Japanese frame, I think. I've just noticed, I find these door handles so funny, the way they're obviously just regular car door handles, but they've angled them slightly.
Yeah.
Like, it just looks very much like an afterthought. Oh, one cool thing we noticed about the car are these sun visors. Because obviously when this is all just glass, there's really a place for them to go. So they come from the side like this. Hey! I don't know, that pleases me. You know, they're all folded up like this. They remind me of, do you remember Cell from Dragon Ball Z?
And I didn't actually watch much Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, get out,
I-
get out. All of Latin America just unsubscribed. Oh, tunnel.
And so, the road trip continued, complete with amazing scenery, a long overdue interior improvement, and just a little bit of messing around. The hours passed by with the only major stop being a very late lunch in Kaikoura. Before long, we were back on the road to Picton, with just a couple of hours before final check-in. The car performed well, the intense sun started to subside, and we were treated to some gorgeous scenes on our final stretch to Picton.
Well, we've made it. We've checked in with about 5 minutes to spare.
And we got a compliment from the chicken lady too.
We did. I turned the camera off, so you'll just have to take our word for it.
She's like, that's a cute little car. It's like from Back to the Future.
So we're about to get on the Inter-Islander. Hopefully we don't beach. And when you next join us, we'll be on board.
We parked up and made our way upstairs to settle in for the 3.5-hour crossing. We left port and said goodbye to the South Island. I took the opportunity to look around the ship a bit before settling in for the trip.
Confession time.
Confession time. I may have forgotten to pack Bluetooth set of headphones, and I may have just spent $25 on an adapter.
Yes, you're a degenerate. It's shameful. $25. That's shameful. Probably doesn't even work as well.
We're gonna find out.
The sun began to set, and I decided to get a few more shots of the incredible Marlborough Sounds before getting back to my seat, where I was at least somewhat vindicated for my earlier purchase. I finished the day off by catching up on some mighty car mods before settling in for a rest. Before I knew it, we were in Wellington, and it was time to get back to the car.
Hello viewers. You now join us at 12:05 in the morning. We've arrived in Wellington. We're sitting in the car. I haven't mic'd us up. I can't be bothered. I'm very tired. So maybe you can hear us well, maybe you can't. Here we are. The car's made it. We've made it. How are you feeling about the car?
Great. Really good. The only thing I'm a little bit gutted about is the discovery about how there's a special edition that we didn't get, which includes a funky Fujitsu sound system.
Yes, so the sound bar at the back of the car is part of a wider system called the live audio system or something like that. I don't know. There is a Fujitsu system that is 10 speaker and looks amazing.
Yes.
And I'm sure it sounds really, really cool. That this particular car was not optioned with.
No. Apparently it was anime as hell.
According to Jalopnik, it was anime as hell. We will never know how it feels to have a sound system in our Sera that is anime as hell.
But if you do know, please tell us in the comments.
So from here, we've got a short drive home, then a probably pretty quick run to bed and snooze.
And then a interesting journey to do a few bits and pieces to this thing. Maybe a few upgrades. I mean, it'd be kind of fun to put in a FX GT engine in this thing.
Let's not make any promises we can't keep. I think we need to find a really nice balance of preserving the coolest elements of the car and not taking it too far, but just giving it a bit of an overhaul, making it ours, making it unique.
Yeah.
Not that it isn't already pretty unique.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
yeah, I think it's going to be cool.
Absolutely.
So stick around for more videos on that, because absolutely we'll be documenting that as it goes. But anyway, thank you for joining us. We're going to be heading back out on the road, and we'll bring more content with this car very soon.
Say hashtag save a Sera.
Hashtag save Sarah. There we go. We're going viral, guys.
Hashtag save a Sera. There we go.
Bye.
If they could genetically engineer a turkey with 6 legs and every leg was a plump drumstick, but it had no wings, would you be okay with it? Assume that the bird didn't know that it was supposed to have wings, obviously.
Yes.
and that it wasn't obviously suffering.
Yes.
You would be okay with it.
Absolutely. Down. Give it to me.